Prestige Media Group.
Look, my name is Xeus. You know, most of y'all know me, but I'm gonna be bringing up 3 acts tonight that are dope as fuck, and we're gonna have a good time. This is a performance, so we need crowd participation. I'm gonna need everybody to come this way a little bit. You got it. What's your name?
Hi, Lee.
Nice to meet you,
Take the ramp to get on Highway 93.
I just make palm trees out my problems. Lord know I got them, but this Mary Jane keep me sane. Out in the asylum, I've been staying in my lane, but I need an island to get away from all this fake shit till it's gone and forgotten. No niggas plotting, hate to see power that make them sour and spoil them rotten. It ain't surprising, that's just reality. I got a family, I've been providing.
So, who I am? Xeus too cool, man. You know, I started off as young Xeus back in the day when I was rapping. You know, everybody wanted to be a rapper. Everybody got dreams, you know. But I think, you know, music has always been my passion, so I guess rapping was the first thing I was drawn into. You know what I'm saying? Just because I was good at it, you know, that's all I listened to. That's what got me through a lot of situations, and I kind of wanted to be that message for someone else. So being a rapper is eventually what makes me good at what I do now as a manager, because I'm sort of a player's coach, you know. I done been there, done that, you know, so I can tell if somebody's bullshitting or if somebody's really about their craft, you know what I'm saying? I ended up getting into management because I just felt the need to help other artists with their progression, help other artists with what needs to be done to be successful. Success, okay. So we got great successes in the eye of the beholder all the time. So basically, success to me and what I tend to try to give to my artists is to make this a career, to make this your 9-to-5, to make money off this for the rest of your life, whether it be $10 million or whether it be enough money to be able to live for the rest of your life off music alone. But in order to do that off music alone, you have to take it serious. You get what I'm saying? So it's no, I'm not paying for beats. You know, it's no, I'm not paying for studio time, or I could do it in my homeboy studio because it's cheap. Success stories like that happens, but if you really dig deep into that story, it was a lot of things that went on in order for that to happen. All you get is the broad stroke. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, he made it overnight. But you didn't know what happened to make him make it overnight. You get what I'm saying? So what I try to portray to people is the reality of this whole thing. It's not always pretty, it's not always, it's a sacrifice, just like anything else. If you want to be a doctor, you're going to go to school for almost 16 years and pay and still be in debt for almost half of your life in order to be that doctor. It's no shortcuts to being a doctor, correct? Or a lawyer or anything else. So what makes this music any different? There's no shortcuts in it. So that's what I'm trying to portray to people, because in today's age, people think, oh man, you know, it's type beats, you know, you go to YouTube, type beats all day and it's for free, they're ripping up and everybody want to be a rapper and blow up. But what you got to understand, it's still a business at the end of the day. Just like they was raping these boys back in the day with their own music, Michael Jackson, Prince, and all, they're going to do the same thing to you with these type beats that you got going on. You know what I'm saying? If you do say you make a hit song and the producer sees that, you make $1 million streams, you doing all this cap, you know, the clout or whatever, the producer can sit back and like, okay, I'm gonna wait till you get to 2 million, and then I'm gonna send a cease and desist. Now what you gonna do? Can you do it again? You know what I'm saying? Are you good enough to do it again, or could you done it the right way and been, you know, successful? So that's my thing. That's what I'm trying to get. I think rap is the only genre of music that doesn't understand that concept of of it being a career. You know what I'm saying? I do see myself as a J. Prince, Diddy, Suge, all wrapped in one because, you know, in anything you take from what inspires you and you add it to yourself at the end of the day. So I take what my forefathers done, Diddy, what he's done to be charismatic. People say, oh, he all up in the videos, but look what he did. He built a brand. Bad Boy is a brand. When you see that baby or whatever, you know that's a brand. You know, so I take what Suge did in the Death Row era and made that like the hugest thing in the world. You know what I'm saying? By picking the artists that he, you know, that he picked. Jay Prince the same way. Jay Prince knocked doors down for the South to be able to be heard. Houston 30 years ago wasn't Houston that it is today. Houston 30 years ago, Ghetto Boys was not able to be accepted in the hip hop game. It took Jay Prince saying, here go that money, man. You gonna play my boys, I ain't gonna change nothing. That's the thing that I'm, you know, if he did it, and people gotta understand that he did something that was impossible at the time. That was impossible to do that. It was impossible for Puff Daddy to do what he did with Big. You know what I'm saying? No matter what the situation was. At that time, we see it now, we like, oh man, I can get there. But when they were doing it, it was nothing like, you know, like it is now. They didn't have nobody that they probably did, but for hip hop, there were nobody as big doing what they were doing. So it's all history, man. History repeats itself. So I just take everything that I've seen and apply it to myself in some sort of way and try to make and build a legacy like what they did. Okay, back to going to the Jay Prince situation. What I want and what I envision in 10 years for the Fort Worth hip hop scene is to be able to go down the street and have, let's say, a Houston, you know, when Houston does that Houston Day, Houston Appreciation Day, and there's people on top of the buildings playing rap music. That can't happen in Fort Worth right now. Why? Because hip hop is not a culture yet. Hip hop is not something that's represented and being respected in the city. But neither was it 30 years ago in Houston. Okay, the Fort Worth Weekly is a publication, a Fort Worth publication that tries their best to be in tune with what's going on in the city. And they keep it pretty much Fort Worth. So, you know, it's as Fort Worth as possible. It's the only thing we got right now. You know, it catches a lot of heat because they're really not in tune with what's going on. So it does catch a lot of heat. I'm not gonna say it doesn't, but it's the only thing we got. So we have to utilize what we do have and support them, even though, you know, we may feel like they have flaws, but who doesn't? You know, so in order for us to thrive and maybe, you know, get more people like the Weekly, we have to support what's going on. You know, they do put up a award show on and they do nominate artists. You know what I'm saying? You can't take that away from them. You know, so it's fortunate that we have that. You know, and I do my best to be a part of what we have. Even though it's politics, everybody knows it's politics. But like I said, you know, if it's politics and you know it's politics and you want to be in the game, then you'll get in the politics. You feel what I'm saying? It's you can't go against the grain and then complain about the grain. You know, what you gonna do? Either you gonna go with it, or you know what you gonna do about it. You know, don't complain, just figure it out. That's my whole motto. You know, if the door closed, kick it open. You know, but don't complain about it being closed. You know, of course, eventually I hope to do something like that. But I do want to be able to show that hip hop can be supportive of what's going on first and foremost. That they don't look at us as what they have looked at us. They respect us as a genre. They respect us as professionals. In order for us to be recognized as a rock or like a rock genre or a country genre. These guys, you really don't see too much of what's going on in hip hop and these other genres. If it is politics or if it isn't politics. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, you know, Fort Worth gets behind that kind of stuff more. Because it's not a bad taste in their mouth. It's not, you know, you don't want to go to somebody and always complaining about them, you know, it's crazy. So I just, right now at this stage, I'm just being supportive of what we do have in hopes to bring a bigger light to what's going on and then eventually changing the game. The Fort Worth sound, to me personally, we're just a diverse city, man. You have people, well, first and foremost, it's, from my generation growing up, it was called Murder Worth when it first, you know, when I was growing up, because it was really gang influence and stuff like that. So basically, that culture is gonna always be relevant in Fort Worth until somebody changes it, or until the generations keep going and going, and hopefully forget about it. But Fort Worth is just so diverse, man, and that's the thing, man. We way too diverse, and people don't like what they don't understand. You know what I'm saying? So a trap rapper is not gonna understand a rapper like Rex, you know, or Drew, you know. So it's kind of hard to mesh those two together. But the beautiful thing is that's what the culture is. We got so many sides, and that's what I'm trying to get artists to understand: is stay in your lane for right now and be the best you can be in that lane. Just if y'all can't get along and it keep y'all from competing with each other and talking down about this next man, just stay doing what you're doing. Prime example, we have a rapper named Joe, who does craft brew and chill, has a whole like outsiders club movement, and that's a lane that nobody's in, but it's gonna inspire somebody else. Like, man, Joe is tight, man. That's what I like. So now you the greatest of that lane, and that's making Fort Worth great. Then you have Go Yayo. It's a lot of people who love Go Yayo in that lane. But if we can all become great in our own lanes instead of hating on each other, like I'm the best, you don't even make this kind of music, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. So let's just all be great in our own lane. Since we can't get along and we can't do it right now, let's just all be great in our own lanes and inspire somebody else. And now that culture's built. Now you got a culture over here. Like I could go to a Joe show and be like, man, I could go to a Rex show and you know he's all that yoga, rap and all that stuff. I can go over there and like, man, Rex killing it over here. Now Fort Worth, like, you know, it's different people with their own followings, and we have a culture, man. And that's the thing. Instead of hating on the net, man, fuck oh yeah yo, you know what I'm saying? He do this, he can't rap enough. Okay, cool, but he rapping good enough for what his lane is doing. You know what I'm saying? He got millions of people who think he raps great, and he's from Fort Worth, so I hate on that. Just be like, man, yeah, you're doing this thing where he doing his thing. If you want to know my music, I'm doing my thing over here, you know. But we still Fort Worth, you know what I'm saying? It's all Fort Worth. I don't think they have too much of an influence because of, I don't think we embrace TCU enough. And I think we should do that because Fort Worth doesn't have a huge basketball team or a huge football team. All we do have is TCU that's, you know, nationally recognized. So I don't think we do enough to embrace what we have here because it's not cool. You know what I'm saying? It's not Dallas Cowboys or the Dallas Mavericks or something. We'll resort to that before we, you know, embrace our hometown stuff. You know? So I think we do need to embrace what we do have. You know? Everybody wants to be a manager. If you can't be a rapper, you want to be a manager. You know what I'm saying? But people don't understand what it takes to really be a manager and to do it the right way. And I feel like Fort Worth right now, you know, nobody's made it, so it's almost like everybody's wanting to be, I did it first. Which, you know, if you read the book, The 22 Laws of Marketing, you know, it's better to be first than to be, you know, the best, you know. So I understand it from a marketing standpoint, but then too, you know, you gotta understand that you gotta do it the right way, man. It's gonna fail if you're not doing it the right way. So as a manager, I see a lot of managers messing artists' careers up and setting them up for failure because they don't have to take the responsibility. Oh, if you fail, it's on you, man. And now these artists like, man, I don't need no man, all this stuff, but you really do. You want to have somebody who has your back and wants to see you succeed. So I think it's a need for good managers in the game, and it's a couple like it's a couple good managers out there, you know, that's trying to do their thing. But you know, I wish artists really understand when you want a manager, first have something to manage, get there, and then after you do that, find you a good manager. You know, I'll tell you straight up, if I can't manage you, if I can't take you on, I'm not gonna do it. But I'm gonna also give you game. I'm not gonna like just totally throw you to the side, but I'm not gonna play with your head. You know what I'm saying?
Straight up.
So I think it's people need to understand that if you at a local level and the manager has 5 or more artists, you have to understand like where you're gonna fit in with that. I was watching a BMF, you know, documentary. I think it was Big Meech who said I'd rather put all my money in one artist than to have 20 and, you know, trying to split it up. If you got somebody you believe in, put your all in that. And if you, at a local level, when somebody doesn't have a resume of proving that they can turn out a successful artist and they have 5, do common sense on that. You know what I'm saying? What makes you different? If your manager said, I don't listen to your music, or if your manager doesn't know good music, or you can't vibe with your music with your manager, then that's number one. Number two, if he does have a roster and you know that roster is your, you know, whatever you want to call it. If that's not a roster you want to be on, you feel like I could be the best on that roster, then you already lose. Because that manager is obviously not in tune with the, you know, with the music, because he's promoting tracks. Not calling everybody trash, it's a lane for everybody, you know what I'm saying? But if that manager doesn't have a reason for it, like if I signed an artist and I know that he has marketed his music maybe like a Lil Yachty, right? I have a plan for that. If you can talk to that man face to face and be like, so what's your plan for this guy? And he's, oh man, his music's dope, and that's the first thing you come out, no. And you need to look somewhere else, you know. You gotta have your own understanding, man. Just don't jump into situations just because, man, somebody's like, man, I'll be your manager, whoop-de-whoop. You know, that goes back to what I'm saying. I want people to make this a career and not just, you know, doing this for the clap, man, because that's gonna be over with.
Take the ramp to get on Highway 93.
I just make palm trees out my problems. Lord know I got them, but this Mary Jane keep me sane. Out in the asylum, I've been staying in my lane, but I need an island to get away from all this fake shit till it's gone and forgotten. No niggas plotting, hate to see power that make them sour, spoil them rotten. It ain't surprising, that's just reality. I got a family, I've been providing. Throw all your shade, nigga, we made 100%. Now that ain't cotton, sit in my shade. Fresh lemonade, started with lemons, I came from the bottom. Yeah, I be rolling up, put my issues in a swish of sweet. Rolling up, that's gonna put me where I wanna be.